welcome back to Mels Sweets and Eats for this week's episode. And for this week's episode, today we are going to make homemade Lucky Charms cookies with white chocolate chips and just the marshmallows from the Lucky Charms cereal. And this is what it's going to look like this week. And as an added fun note, later on in this segment of this week's video, I made some Shamrock Punch as well. So hopefully you guys see that and you guys get to taste that same creation like I did in this video. Alright everybody, to make our Lucky Charms cookies today, we're gonna need a half teaspoon of salt. We're gonna need 3/4 teaspoon baking soda, a full stick of butter at room temperature. We're gonna use 1 egg. We're gonna use a full cup of just the marshmallows out of our Lucky Charms cereal here. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract here, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and we're gonna use 1/4 cup of white sugar here. And we have 1.5 cups of flour already measured out, and we're gonna use some white chocolate chips as well, and we're measuring out those later into a 1 cup as well. Okay, our next step to make these Lucky Charm cookies is that we're gonna cream together a whole stick of unsalted butter here. We're gonna go ahead and put that whole stick of butter into our mixing bowl here. And then we're going to add in our 3/4 cup of brown sugar here and our 1/4 cup of white sugar here into the same mixing bowl. And we want to cream the butter and both of the sugars together until they are light and fluffy. Okay, now that we have our whole stick of unsalted butter, our white and brown sugar creamed together here in our mixing bowl, we're going to then add our 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract here. Let's measure that out. We're going to pour it right in to that mixture here. And then we're going to take just 1 egg right here. And we're going to crack it into that same mixing bowl here with our vanilla, the sugar, and a whole stick of butter. We're going to cream that together next with our spatula in our mixing bowl until you do not see any of the egg and the vanilla and the egg are fully incorporated with our cream, sugar, and butter mixture. Alright everybody, now that we have creamed our butter, our brown sugar, white sugar, and our 1 egg and vanilla extract in this mixing bowl, we're going to then next add our dry ingredients into a clean bowl here. I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour here into the mixing bowl that I've already measured out. We are going to then take our half teaspoon measurement here with some salt next. Let's go ahead and measure that out and we'll add it into our flour mixture into the same mixing bowl. Alright, there you go. We got our half teaspoon of salt in. And last but not least, we're going to add our 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Be careful that it says baking soda and not baking powder. Let's go ahead and measure that out and put that into the same mixing bowl as well. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, and then we're going to take our whisk right here and we're going to mix around our dry ingredients first before adding them into our wet ingredients to form our cookie dough. Alright, now that has been all incorporated together of our dry ingredients by whisking that around into a separate mixing bowl here, we're going to add about less than 1/2 cup of our dry ingredient into our wet ingredients. So just about 2 small scoops with our whisk into the wet ingredients. And this was what it'll look like before we incorporate that together. And we'll keep repeating that same method until all of our dry ingredients have been incorporated with the wet ingredients. Okay, now that we have our wet and dry ingredients that have been incorporated together here in our mixing bowl all together, we are going to take our 1 cup of Lucky Charms and marshmallows that I had sifted through the Lucky Charms cereal box. And we're going to put that into our ingredients here in our mixing bowl. We're going to want to use a spatula, but we are going to fold them in. You don't want to overmix the marshmallows, so you can see them into our cookie dough when our cookies are all done being mixed. So we're going to gently fold, slowly and carefully, our marshmallows from our cereal. Yes, there are bags of just the marshmallows out there as well, and you can purchase those from any store. All right, now that we have slowly folded in our marshmallows from our Lucky Charms cereal, we're going to then add 1 cup of white chocolate chips into our 1 cup measure right here. And we are going to open the bag carefully, and we're going to measure out 1 cup of those white chocolate chips. If you don't like white chocolate chips, you can go ahead and use the semi-sweet chocolate chips, or you can use dark chocolate chips, peanut butter chips. All right, so you about have 1 cup of white chocolate chips there. And we're going to add that into our mixture here in the same bowl. Dump those chocolate chips in, and we're going to do the same method of folding in those white chocolate chips as well. Gently and slowly. If you have a hard time folding in the marshmallows or the chocolate chips or both, go ahead and feel free to ask a parent or guardian to help you out. Okay, now that we have folded in our white chocolate chips and our marshmallows from our Lucky Charms cereal into the mixing bowl, we're going to then take our nonstick cooking spray. We're going to spray about 2 cookie sheets here with our nonstick cooking spray. And just like our flourless peanut butter cookie recipe that we did for our very first episode, we're going to put some of that cooking spray onto our hand, and we're going to put it on both hands so the cookie dough doesn't stick onto our hands. We're then going to grab just a little bit of the dough, and we're going to form it into a ball as best as possible. And here's our cookie dough ball here with our homemade cookie dough mixture with our white chocolate chips and our marshmallow treats. We're then going to place it onto the cookie sheet, and we're going to use the 2-finger method, and we're going to put 2 fingers down to kind of show us where to put the next cookie dough ball down. All right, let's use that 2-finger method here, and we're going to put our next cookie dough ball right there. And you're going to keep repeating this step until there's no more dough left in our mixing bowl. Okay, now that we have rolled out our cookie dough balls onto our baking sheets that we have sprayed with nonstick cooking spray, we're going to take our trays to the oven, which will be preheated at 350 degrees, and the cookies are going to sit in the oven from 8 to 10 minutes. All right, let's be careful as we're opening our oven. It is hot, so please have a parent or guardian help you with this next step of putting the cookies on the cookie sheets into the oven for that 8 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to go on the other side here and set my timer for approximately 9 minutes. And let's get that started. All right, everybody, and while we have our cookies over here in the oven baking away, and we're staying with that green St. Patrick's Day theme, I thought it would be fun to do a Shamrock Punch for you guys. And all we need for a Shamrock Punch is lime sherbet ice cream and some lemon lime soda here and some green food coloring. And The green food coloring is totally optional to add in for the Shamrock Punch. All right, so the first step we're going to do is take our lime sherbet here and an ice cream scoop, and we're going to scoop some of the ice cream into a large mixing bowl here. And it's up to you how much of the lime sherbet you want to put into this mixing bowl. So I'm just gonna do about 4 or 5 scoops myself because I don't need to make a ton. I just want to make a little bit of the punch to go with one of my cookies. So I'm on scoop number 3. And I'll do scoop number 4. All right, last scoop here. Perfect. And we're gonna want to put that ice cream back into the freezer so it doesn't melt later on. All right, I'm going to put my lemon lime soda into that same mixing bowl and make sure if it is too heavy for you to lift up that we ask a parent or guardian to help out. So I'm just put a little bit of soda with our lime sherbet ice cream. That's about good enough for myself. I just add a few drops of our green food coloring to make our Shamrock Punch even more vibrant in the color green. 2, 3 drops of food coloring. And we're going to use a spatula. Let's be careful when we mix that all together. And this is what our Shamrock Punch is going to look like here. And you can grab whatever kind of plastic cup, glass cup, or fun cup in general, whatever cup you have lying around in your house to put this in and take that sip of Shamrock Punch. Okay, everybody, now that we had our cookies in the oven at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes or so, we have taken out with our oven mitt our 2 cookie sheets here with our final product of our Lucky Charms cookies here with our white chocolate chips. And the time has come to taste our creation. So I'm going to take one off of this cookie sheet right here. And we're going to taste test it. The best cookie I've made yet. Thanks for watching Mels Sweets and Eats today with our episode of Lucky Charms cookies and our Shamrock Punch. Enjoy!